Hey, KruJuice and here. I just wanted to go over the difference between the hard style and the Girevoy. Some things I wish I had known sooner in my kettlebell journey. I do love kettlebells for Muay Thai, and it's more of a newer thing in Muay Thai, just because it's not as Eastern as other practices are. But Muay Thai adapts. That's what Muay Thai does. Muay Thai always adapts. Muay Thai evolves. Throughout the history of Muay Thai, it's always become better because it's not afraid to take on those evolutionary challenges of training. So, and this is no different. So I do love kettlebells for Muay Thai because it really works the pelvic girdle, especially when you're doing anything that's hinge based. The hinge is insanely important because that's where your power emanates from as far as throwing kicks and throwing knees, even throwing elbows and punches. It all comes from the pelvic girdle. So I stand 12 to 18 inches behind the bell. So the hard style hip hinge movement is fairly simple. It's one back, one forward. So standing 12 to 18 inches behind the bell, I grab the bell as I bend a little bit. Thumb to bum, right? Points towards my butt. I hike, goes into position. So from this clean position, I'm going to go ahead and hip hinge. Now, if it's a hard style, it's one back, one forward, one back, one forward. You want to look up on the horizon, keep your back straight. That way, I'm not going to put any flexion in my lower back. That's insanely important. Flexion in your spine, what creates injury. It's okay to go ahead and concave your body in a little bit. We'll be using that later in things like the clean and jerk. Now, the Girevoy is different. There's a small dip at the front, small dip at the back. It looks like this. It takes a little bit of the pressure off on the way down and again on the way back up. That's really important for long sets. They both have application. They both have application. So I like to use the hard style for things like, let's say, the full armor complex. It's a shorter movement. It's a condensed movement. It's a complex movement. You have several different exercises combined into one. We'll cover that later. But something like that is a perfect hard style movement because you're combining movements and you don't need the extra time in a long set to cover that. And that's kind of the beauty of like a hard style. Your Girevoy, because you have that small dip in the front, small dip in the back, the beauty of that, it takes a little pressure off of your lower back, I find personally. That could be completely anecdotal, but I do find that it takes a little bit of pressure off of my back. It also helps with the synchronization of your breathing. Again, this is personal, but my students have also experienced very similar things. I find it helps to synchronize your breathing. It really makes it feel like the martial art of weights because you have body movement, breath synchronization, up-down movements. Everything is completely synchronized in these beautiful long sets. So when you're doing a hard style, and again, you don't go down during the hip hinge. Look up on the horizon, and then once your arm hits your body, you go back. Once you lock here, use that deflection, right? When you hit your body, you're going to put some resistance on it so it doesn't pull you back. And then from here, you pull forward. And it's a nice hard movement so that we can swing the weight into place, T-Rex it up and catch, right? We'll cover each one of those movements much more in depth later. The thing here is we're going over the hip hinge itself and the difference between hard style and Girevoy. So again, it comes down, it hits. hip hinge back. From here, you thrust hard forward on a hip hinge forward. Okay? On the Girevoy, as soon as this hits, I dip down and then I dip up, pulling the bell up away from the ground. And I come back down and it dips down, and then I use that again to pull the weight back up. So there's a pull and a pull on both sides of that hip hinge. And this is what really sets it apart from hard style. And hard style is great for those smaller, complex movements. But I really like the Girevoy for those long sets, because when you're able to pull here and pull here, it takes a little more. Again, this is a personal anecdote, but I do find it takes pressure off of my lower back. There's a beautiful synchronization, and it helps everything last longer for those 10, 20, and 30-minute sets when you're doing those long, those long marathons, which I do enjoy. We'll cover that later too. I hope that helps you understand the difference between a hard style and the Girevoy. Again, I'm Aaron KruJuice and Muayman. Talk to go.